Hello, fellow flight simmers, and welcome back to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator. And after many requests from my community, I'm going to be doing a full review today of the DC Designs F-14 Tomcat. If you are interested in learning how to fly the TBM 930 from Microsoft Flight Simulator, consider joining my Patreon site, level tier 2 or above, which gives you access to all of my guides, which include the A320, the G1000, and now the recently released Cessna Citation Longitude. These guides include everything from cockpit tours to full instructionals on how to use all the systems, creating your flight plans, as well as the different types of approaches and takeoffs that are available to the different aircrafts. They are extremely detailed, full with pictures and identifying markers to make your flight sim experience with this aircraft as easy as possible. Again, link down to my Patreon site found in the description below. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. DC Designs F-14 Tomcat. We get two variations. We have the Alpha and the Bravo. We'll be flying the Alpha today. Now, I want to make sure that everyone understands that if you are new to any of my reviews, I tried to be brutally honest, sometimes too brutal. I was a bit skeptical, and well, I should say I am a bit skeptical coming into this one, as the DC Designs F-15 was an aircraft to this day I am still not at all happy with. But I had multiple emails and multiple requests and comments and multiple requests in Discord to do a review of this aircraft, so I listened to you guys. I'm here, so we're going to get after it. I just want to make sure everybody understands one thing. You will hear me on occasion reference the DCS World F-14. I want to make it very clear what I'm comparing. All it is that the DCS World F-14 is the only Tomcat I've ever sat in. I know it's a very study level aircraft. I know it's high fidelity. Sorry, I don't like to use study level. It's high fidelity. So it's a good comparison. It's just going to be my base of comparison. I am not expecting air combat performance. I am not expecting one-to-one performance, not by any freaking means. Now, this aircraft does come in at $34.95. To give comparison, the DCS World F-14 is, I think, $60. So take all the combat aspect out of it, and we're still looking at a $35 aircraft here. So, you know, my expectations are going to be a bit high, you know, for $34, but let's see what we get. All right, so coming around to the textures, for the most part, actually, they're pretty good. There are certain parts, it's almost weird, like, as I'm looking at this, you get certain parts that look very 3D. You get a lot of depth. Like the canopy looks fantastic. I love it. The cockpit looks great. Although this sort of has a weird visual angle. I feel like we're seeing more of it than we should be able to. Yeah, that's kind of odd. It's almost like it turns with us, but that's okay. That was a little weird. But as far as the exterior, you get some colored areas that look very 2D and almost hand-drawn, like with a pencil. Like it almost looks like colored pencil, if you will, or very anime, maybe, very toony looking. And then there's some parts of it, like up here on the nose, or like back here on the dorsal side of the aircraft. It looks great. You know, it looks great. So it's sort of got a combination. There are certain areas, like that canopy is absolutely fantastic. It looks beautiful. No qualms there whatsoever. So the texturing, you know, let's call it, I don't know, 7 out of 10, if you guys agree. You know, here, like I said, there's certain parts that look a little too plain. They need some reflection, and I get what they're trying to do. Military aircraft, you're not typically going to have that high gloss that you see in many of the other, and like in general aviation aircraft or airlines, you're not going to see that because it makes them reflective. You don't want a fighter jet to be reflective. You want it to be hard to see. So I get what they're trying to do. So they get credit there. I'm not gonna knock them too hard for that. I'm really not. And if it comes off that way, I apologize. That's absolutely not my intention. The textures and coloring on the wheels look great. I think my biggest gripe when I'm seeing right now would have to be the drop tanks. The fuel bags are, they look pretty bad. Like hopefully that's something that gets addressed later on, but it's not a game changer by any means. I like the all the coverings and everything that are on when she's parked. I really do like that. You guys know how I am about features like that. Anyone who's watched any of my previous content, it's probably one of my favorite parts about the TBM 930 improvement mod is the ability to open the doors. Not sure why we have one inlet or excuse me, exhaust fan open and one not, but why am I not thinking that? It's not what those are called. It's going to come to my head later on. It's not called exhaust fan. I can't remember what the heck the word is. It's right on the tip of my tongue, too. I hate when that happens. It drives me nuts. Anyways, those things. I'm not sure why we had one closed and one open, but regardless. But other than that, I like it. It's really not too bad. I'll get in close and you start noticing issues. But, I mean, being fair here, I'm being overcritical on that. Because how often are you guys looking at your planes like this? And even then, it's not bad. If you look at the joining points are all pretty smoothed out and calm. Again, right there, some details that fall down below. But look how hard I'm having to look to find those. Again, no one's going to spend their time doing that with their airplane. Again, the reflective surfaces on the uprights are nice on the vertical stabilizers. Yeah, it's good. Again, minor issues. So let's step into the business end and see what we get. Okay, so stepping into our cockpit here, and I am pleasantly surprised. And I don't mean to sound like a ass when I say that, but I mean it. This is much better. I like this a lot. Well done. Again, you get certain areas that the coloring is a little 2D looking, a little colored pencil looking, if you will. That's the best way I can think to describe it. But I mean, man, the detail is great. From memory, it's been a while since, and this is what I'm talking about when I reference the DCS world. It's things like this. It's been a while since I've flown the DCS F-14, but these all look absolutely correct. The lighting system is back here. You adjust your brightness with these knobs here. Let's see if we can do that. Yes, you can. Nicely done. Nice. This is good. Let's see here. Yep, and these are the air source controls here. Your air conditioning back here. Yep. The modeling is fantastic. Your modes, these are your VDI and I can't ever remember the name of this bottom display. The ND. Sorry, you have your nav display and you have your VDI up here. And so these are your display controls. So this is your takeoff. You put in takeoff mode, cruise mode, air to air, air to ground, and landing. And you are definitely going to want to make sure that you're using this landing mode, assuming it's modeled. We'll find out. But if it's modeled, we're going to want to make sure that we're using landing mode, because you don't land naval jets with necessarily being setting a certain speed. You know, with Cessnas, you may look for 55 knots. With our TBM, we want to approach 85 knots. With naval aircraft, you don't do that. They land based on angle of attack. And matching the glide slope with a specific angle. Anyway, I digress. Sorry, I can geek out on military aircraft all day long. But this is good. These would be your TV control modes. Changing the displays that show up here. A lot of it would be used for your, like for example, your FLIR pods and things like that. It's pretty cool. TACAN, your destination, so your nav controls, all weather landing. This is used landing on deck in crappy weather. Vector, I think is what that stands for, and I don't remember what that was used for. And then manual control. Pitch ladder brightness, you can actually dim. Oh, cool. I wonder if that works. You can actually take the pitch ladder away. For example, it's used as a decluttering feature, or if you needed to increase the brightness. This is really neat. I'm impressed. ECM. Again, there's your all-weather landing. Now, you should also have, let's see. Yep, ACLS, Automatic Carrier Landing System. Dude, the modeling so far, I am thoroughly impressed with. Your fuel gauges are correct. You have your RPM, inlet temperature in Celsius, and fuel flow. And we should have, yep, left and right engine gauges. We'll see if these actually move forward with the engines. Here's your trim controls and your spoilers. Or your trim reads, I should say, in your spoilers. Landing gear indicators should be there. Speed brake gives you an indication here whether or not it's powered on. Your slats and flaps. Oh, no, those are just your slats. Let's see here. Are these wing position? That might be wing position, actually. I have to remember. It's been a while. So don't quote me on that. I could be wrong on that. But this is still good. This is very nice. Altitude, radar altitude, that's nice. So instead of actually switching between radar and barometric pressure, you're going to have your altimeter, and then you're going to have your radar altimeter. So your radar altimeter is going to stop functioning stop being usable at 1,000 feet. But once you get below 1,000 feet, you should read your radar altitude, which is actually kind of nice. Let's see here, vertical velocity indicators, speedometer. landing gear, parking brake, elevators. Oh, this is your trim settings. Sorry, this is the trim gauge right here. There's your elevators and rudder. Wing extension. So override, auto, or off. Let's see, which way does it go? Okay, so it should be in the top position if memory serves. Wing extension should be in auto. So it looks like override is disabled. Throttle looks absolutely fantastic. Does the gate open? Yes, it does. And then you should have 55 degrees, 68 degrees, and oversweep. So oversweep, you only ever want to use this when parking. What it does... Oh, it's functioning! Alright, you got points for that. Now, it's still not in the oversweep position. The oversweep position actually pulls the wings all the way back here, if memory serves. Because what happens is the wing will actually overlap the horizontal stabilizers. And it's used for only when parking on deck to save space. Right? Everything with an aircraft carrier is about saving space. So oversweep, you shut down your engines, you park the aircraft, you pull them into oversweep. And actually, I don't even think you have to shut them down. I think they'll do that right as they're clearing the landing way on the or the angle deck on the carrier. And then they sweep the wings all the way back. But anyway, yeah, it's for parking. And then so, oh, don't want that. Come on, man. I'm actually excited here, man. Quit fighting me. And you're still fighting me. There we go. Okay. And then 68 degrees. I just think that's full aft. 55 degrees is your bomb mode. Now, you would want to put things... The reason why we use things like bomb mode and full sweep, this would be just manual control, 68 degrees. But bomb mode, oftentimes when doing air-to-air refueling, they'll put the wings into bomb mode, especially when learning. Reason being is this is a variable geometry wing, and it's constantly moving forward and backward based on your airspeed. You don't want that when you're trying to do air-to-air refueling, because every time that wing changes, your aircraft's either going to lift or descend or roll a little bit. It's a real pain in the butt. So anyway, so we got that moved forward. And I always want to leave it up in the auto mode. Leave the gate down, unless you're doing something specific that you want to force it. Let's see how the throttle movement's like. Did you guys see that? Oh, I wonder. Okay, so I'm going to be really... Yeah, they snap into place right there. I'm going to be really stoked if this is what I think it is. If this is what I think it is, they have created a detent for military power, also called mil power. And what mil power is, for those of you who may not know, it's as fast as an aircraft can go without using the afterburner. So it's basically 100% engine power without afterburners, or the blowers as we like to call them. So that's going to be really awesome. We're going to test that on takeoff and see what we got going on. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and move on with the startup procedures here. We're just going to use the auto start because I'm going to be blunt. I'm excited to fly it. I really hope that it lives up to what it's doing so far. I am going to set a quick custom view here. Here, what do I got to do here? Let's see here. We want way too close. I don't like that. This is always the hard part about new aircraft. All right. I feel like my head is too far down. Doesn't seem natural. Again, something like that. Okay, so let's start there, and we're going to do Control, Alt, and 1 to save that. And that's pretty freaking cool. Now, the one that I can tell you right now is going to give my track IR just a hell of a time are these lights. So I think I'm going to create one for the light panel too. Control, Alt, and 2. And you know what? We can actually set quite a few of these. Well, I don't think that one's necessary. These might be... Oh. Okay. Got it. And we'll set one for the rear panel too. I think that was 3. Let's see here. So Alt 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, that should work. Everything else I think we can get to visually. All right, so let's get this aircraft started. I am actually really excited to fly this thing. All right, so real quick, something I wanted to give you guys a heads up on. I'm not going to do it right now because it was driving me crazy and I couldn't figure out how to stop it. When I did the auto start a minute ago, I hit Control and E, echo, and a pilot body showed up. Now, as cool as that is, I cannot find anywhere how to disable the pilot body. And the pilot body obviously covers, his hand covers up the throttle base, hand is all over here, the body's just, and I mean, honestly, I think it's a cool feature. Pilot bodies are always neat in VR, but it needs some work in my opinion. But I could not figure out how to turn the pilot body off. So what I had to do is I had to go into my controls and bind the auto start to something else, and then it seemed to be okay. So I just want to give you guys a heads up. So right now my auto start is bound to Control and Q. All right, so here we go. Let's listen to the sounds and see how it all goes. Not sure why that fire extinguisher pushed in. Oh, cool. All right, that's pretty neat. I like it. Not bad at all. Very cool. Not bad at all. Not perfect, but definitely nothing to gripe about. I like it. I really do. Oh, that did it. Interesting. So that is my custom view on Alt-1 that turned on the pilot. And pressing Alt-1 again removed it. Okay, there you guys go. So it wasn't the auto start, it's the custom camera views. If you press Alt-1, which I believe by default is how you get to your custom camera views, it will enable the pilot body. Ironically enough, any of the Alt and numbers seem... Yep, any of them do it. Okay, I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. But what we can do is a workaround here, because I like my custom views. I can go to Alt-2 and then switch to Alt-1. Nope. You have to hit the same one again. That is so weird. Okay, whatever. Alright, we'll figure that out later. So that is one issue that I don't like, but that's alright. Minor. Minor, minor. Alright, let's see how she taxis. So far she taxis really well. Nice and smooth. No weird control issues. Oh, hey! We've got some issues on the bit panel from the auto start. Pitch, stabilize. Okay, those are the augmentation controls. And the inlet ramps. Oh, they're not set to auto. Groovy. Alright, well, that's kind of cool. That's actually a good thing. I like that those were there. There we go. The engine sound is very nice in relationship to the throttle. Looks like there's another one. Someone else is up flying the Tomcat. Had the same idea. I wonder how many of us are going to be at Miramar today. Alright, so moment of truth here. Yeah, I suppose I actually could have just taxied around, huh? I didn't realize it came all the way back around. Oh well, that's alright. Luckily nobody else is here right now. Turn radius is great. Exactly what you'd expect from a naval aircraft. You gotta be able to turn on those carriers. Alright, we're center lined. So I want to test the mill power. Should right there. And I want to go to the external view real quick. Ah, of course we're facing the wrong way. Nope, that's afterburners. Alright, my bad. So we should be rotating. Okay, the takeoff was very, very nice. It was very smooth. I know that seemed a little weird because of the camera view, and I'm sorry about that. I wanted to see if the afterburners were lit or not. Although, I think... So it does have mill power. Let's get that landing gear up. Gosh, I'm getting all distracted. I'm actually having fun with this, guys. So when it does that jump right there, that's when your afterburners go live. And you'll see that the fuel flow will actually go through the roof too. I didn't even think about that. That's a really good indicator. Watch what happens. So right there you can see the right engine, guarantee the afterburner's on. Called it. So when you see your fuel flow peak like that, it's a good indicator. Alright. So there's still a little bit of that weird jitter that I used to see in the Eagle that I didn't like, but some of that could just be natural to the Tomcat. The Tomcat is not a forgiving aircraft. She is a actually really mean aircraft to fly. She's a big, powerful, maneuverable beast. And just like anything that is a big, powerful beast, you can't tame them. You have to fly them the way they want to be flown. If not, she'll kill you. And so that part's actually really accurate. I don't know if there's any major difference between flying with the augmentation system on or off. Other than the warning lights. I think the flight model's the same. And as you get low, you get your gear indicator, which is interesting. I don't know if that's legit. But this is actually very nice. Very nicely done. I'm thoroughly impressed. Let's come back around here. HSI is really well done. Take a look at that. Got plenty of good information on it. True airspeed, ground speed. All your nearby waypoints, VORs, and nav sources are down there. Everything's nice and legible. And it looks legit. While adding a general aviation theme to it and using it for a GA simulator, they have maintained that military feel. This is a great job. I am pleasantly surprised. The last big thing that I'm going to want to test here is landings. Navigation, things like that. I don't know that you can enter waypoints into it, but I mean, technically you can only do that from the Rio seat anyway, and I haven't even bothered to check and see if we can go back there. I don't think you can. We'll have to test that out at another time, but pretty sure you're going to have to make your flight plans in the world map. But the fact that they'll show is great. Let's see here. I want to find a canyon or something. I know there was one near Miramar. Getting a little stuttering there. What the heck's going on there? Had some stuttering last night in my stream too, which is weird. I haven't had any stuttering issues in so long. Yeah, not bad at all, guys. I love the sounds. Ooh, baby. Oh, baby. And that is actually legit. I'm okay with what just happened there. I am perfectly fine the fact that just happened. That is really impressive. That is a good run. I'm okay with that. Give me a second. We'll get back in the air and we'll try our landing. All right. We disabled ATC. At least the voices. Now let's set us up here for a land. It's a little hard to see. Actually, it's a lot of hard to see. Start slowing her down like a lot. There's those speed brakes deployed. Flaps just came down. We're wide in the pattern, but that'll be all right. And this is definitely an aircraft you're going to find yourself constantly on the trim. And it's the same in DCS, so that's, again, that's 100% legit. Turning base, let's get that gear down. Start our descent. And again, the only reason why I reference DCS is it's an air combat simulator. It specializes in air combat aircraft, and the Tomcat's one of those. Alright, I need to add some power. Alright, girl, I need you to turn more. Gotta turn more, gotta turn more, come on. Roll out. Come on, darling. Coming in way hot. Way hot. That was my fault. Put that speed brake back out. Oh! Okay. Can almost guarantee that was a graphical issue. That was a terrain issue. We hit something that flipped the plane. But, so anyway, guys, without repeating myself too much, this aircraft does get the Overkill seal of approval. So by all means, if you're interested in it, pick it up. Let me know what you think, and I look forward to hearing from you guys. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next one.